Hello everyone, my name is DeadGambit and welcome to part 2 of the Armor Weld tutorial. This is of course a continuation of the first video I did. The first thing I'm going to basically show off is what this tutorial is going to go into. So this is a game that I've been working on for quite a while. It's called Shattered Melody, and basically in this tutorial I'm going to teach you guys how you can actually open up a makeshift menu and actually equip an armor of your choice, as you can see here. So my guy just changed an armor, and then he can put on this one, and it changes and it puts it on. So that's what this video is going to go over. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is, if you remember the script that we use that allows you to spawn with armor, go ahead and disable it, because after when we're done with this video, you will no longer need this script at all. Now, because we are setting up a way to equip, this obviously means that we are going to be using GUIs. So go ahead and create a screen GUI and call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it main GUI. I usually like to capitalize the GUI part. And the reason why I don't just call this inventory is because, like many of my other games, I only set up one screen GUI and I have several different frames or image labels or whatnot as the child objects. And whatever the player interacts with, like maybe he clicks an inventory button, it turns off some of those other frames and only opens like the inventory frame. Or say I have a frame for a shop, it will turn all the other frames off and only open the shop. So I like to pretty much keep everything congested under one screen GUI and not have several, and that way I can have better management over my stuff. So anyways, the first thing I'm going to do is create a frame, simple frame really. We're going to call this inventory. And now we're going to edit the dimensions here. So for the size, I'm just going to put in some random dimensions for the size. I'll figure it out later. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go, drag it down. Alright, that looks good to me, kind of centered, what I want. And now I'm going to doctor it up a little bit, get rid of the border pixel, make it grayish, and set its transparency to 0.3. We have our inventory. The next thing I'm going to do is add another frame. In this frame, I'm going to set it to the same size as its parent. This will be called our holder. And the background transparency can be 1. And now I'm going to duplicate this, resize it. Oops. Hold on, I gotta set it to 0. And then bring it over here. And I will call this equip menu. And let's give it the same color as our inventory frame, as well as make it 0.3 in transparency. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to, inside the holder, we're going to use a text button. You can also use an image button, but it's entirely up to you. But for now, I'm going to use a text button just for simplicity. So we're going to call this Epic Armor in the text. We're also going to call Epic Armor, Epic Armor in here. Yeah, so I do have a space there, so that's going to be our Epic Armor. I like to use UI constraints, so I'm going to use the grid layout. And I'm going to try to put its size 0.150, 0.250. That's a square. That's pretty squarish. Now I'm going to duplicate this. So in our makeshift inventory, we should have 2 epic armors and only 1 equip menu. Now in the equip menu, we're going to, this will be like sort of a description almost. So I'll put this as description. I'm gonna set the background to transparent. Let's do 0.30 for size. A little bit too big. Bring it up a bit. We get rid of that. Bring it up a bit. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. Edit the text. Make it scaled. Set it to white. Actually, let me put the text and the buttons scaled as well. That way we can see it better. So we have our description. Now we're going to insert 2 text buttons. Drop it down here. Actually, let me just get rid of 1. 0.30? No, I forgot that was too big. Let's see, 0.2. No, okay, so it'll be 1 and 0.1. And I like that. So this will be called Equip. And text scaled. Let's see. Let's make the equip button. Let's gray it out. Yeah, let's give it a dark gray and then make the text white. And we'll call this Equip. Duplicate it and drag your other one down. We'll call this Cancel. And the text will also read Cancel. And we will make the background dark red. Alright, so this is going to be our setup here. Let me get rid of the pixel border for the buttons as well. Get rid of all that. So I like things to be at least clean. Okay, there we go. So we have our setup, our visual setup here. So now, take a quick look at my notes. So what we're going to have in our 2 armor buttons here, we're going to have 2 bool values. One will be called equipped. The other will be called is selected. Put that in there. Then we're going to drop down to the equip menu. And we're going to have a string value in here called armor name. Okay. So now that that is over, I'm going to go ahead start working on the actual script. So the script is going to go inside of the holder. close all these out real quick. The script is going to go inside the holder frame, and we're going to call this, let's call it manager. So the first thing we're going to do is going to make reference to the parent, to the parent of the script's parent. That'll be local. Actually, hold on. Let's do local player equals game players dot local player or game. No, wait. Game. Oh shoot. Players dot player added. Wait. There we go. So that way, it's going to look for our player, and if this script runs before our player loads, it's gonna wait for the actual player to finish loading out. So next, we're going to make reference to the script's parent, the parent of the script's parent. So it'll be local inventory. Let's do lowercase. Inventory equals script dot parent dot parent. And then we'll also make reference to the equip menu. Local equip menu equals inventory dot equip menu. So now we're going to make a while statement. So while true do, and we'll have it wait. And we will now make a for loop that will look into all of the children of the holder frame. It will be for index child in pairs script.parent. Oops. Get children. Did I do that right? There we go. Do if child is a text button, then, and now this is where we bring in the function of the button. So it would be child dot mouse button one click connect function. And so now we're going to look to see if the armor was equipped or not. If child dot equipped dot value equals true, then, and we'll also look to see if it was already selected. If child dot my bad. If child dot is selected dot value equals false, then, so now we're going to do another for loop for index others in pairs parent get children do, then make sure that, and I'll explain what this does in a minute. Then if others not equal child, and others that is selected not value equals false. So I'll explain to you what this does. So basically, in the first for loop, we're basically doing a regular check of all the children that have the property of text button, and we're looping through it to find out which one was actually clicked on. So whichever one we clicked on is the designated child. So first, we're going to look to see if the child was already equipped, and if it was equipped, then we're going to see if it was selected or not. if it wasn't already selected, which means is selected would be equal to false, then it's going to do another loop check for in the same spot, in the same holder for all the children, and it's going to look to see if there are any others, anything that is not the same as the child that we clicked on. We're going to have all the is selected bool values set to false, and that way it won't cause conflict when you're trying to when you get into like the equip menu or something like that. It won't cause any conflict. You won't have overlapping. It's basically prevents the system from getting confused. Like you have several things equipped, and then you'll probably, you probably click on one thing. Like say this is epic armor and this is not so epic armor, for example. And let's say you click on this, but both of the bool values of is selected is true. Even though you wanted epic armor, the name may say the string value may read not so epic armor, and that's not what you want. So just a little precaution that I put in place. So then you get out of the for loop and you do child.isSelected.value equals true. Now before I do this, let me go out here and we're going to set the menu, the equip menu, to invisible. All right, so then we're going to bring up the reference to that equip menu dot visible equals true. So let's go ahead and test that out. And let me open the player GUI. Go to holders. So the first one is our first epic armor here. Go away, chat. And that's our second epic armor over here. And right now, all their bool values are false. So if I were to select this one, this should go to true, and the equip menu should appear. Or not. Let me see. I do something wrong. What did I miss? If equipped. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This should not equip.value should not be set to true. It should be set to false. Let's try that again. And now, let's, okay. So I have a small typo in here, small spelling error. Good thing I caught that before I continue to go on. Let's try that again. Okay, there we go. And so when I look inside my player GUI, go to holder. Now it says it's selected, but if I select the second one, now this is going to say that it's not selected, but this one is. And it also showed the equip and the cancel here. Well, that's good. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to tell our equip menu exactly what to say in the description. So we'll do equip menu dot description dot text equals the equip menu dot description dot text should equal, do you want to equip child ? Oops. Question mark. Okay, let me go ahead and just test it out. I did do that one right. Yes. So, no, I didn't. It says, oh, I'm sorry. It should be child.name. There we go. Do you want to equip epic armor? Do you want to equip epic armor? Okay, so we got that down. Now we'll continue. Let me just take a quick peek at my notes. Okay, so then let's actually do this. I'm gonna set up the system this way. So equip menu dot equip dot text should equal equip. Now we're going to do an else if child dot equip dot value equals true, and child dot is selected dot value equals false. And basically we're going to do the same thing, only this time we're going to make everything basically deselect in a way. Oops. There we go. And so we're going to do some changes here. Like in our bottom for loop, we're going to change that to all. And we're going to get rid of this one conditional statement, because we want all of the GUI, all of the buttons to be set to false. Right? And do you want to unequip? Then we're going to change this to unequip. Actually, I'm sorry. Put back the others for loop here. And then make sure that this stays true, and we're going to keep the is selected for the child that was clicked on as true, and the equip visible equip menu dot visible as true, because the only time that we're going to turn it off is when we hit cancel here. So for now, this should, let me see here. This should change. Okay, do you want to equip the epic armor? Do you want to equip the epic armor? And if I go into my GUI, and if I were to set this armor as being equipped, and I click on it, then it'll ask, do you want to unequip epic armor? And it will say unequip. I got that. And the last thing that I'm going to do in here is I'm going to set the armor name equals the child.name. Okay, so that's it for the script, for the manager script that will be in the holder. Now we're going to focus on the, we're going to make another script in the equip menu. We're also going to call this manager. And this is going to, basically dictate what we equip, what we unequip, and different things like that. So, you see here, okay. So, I'm gonna bring this over here. And then I'm gonna do a for loop. Let's see. For index child in pairs. Oops. Script parent get children do if child is a next button. I don't know if you can hear that, but I apologize. It's my phone. Turn it off. A text button. Then if child dot name equals equip, then if child dot text equals equip, then what we'll do now, oops, forgot to do the 2 equals there. So what we'll do now is make the button press function. Mouse button 1, click, connect, function. And now we're going to look to see, we're going to do another for loop here. For index, we're going to call this selected in pairs. And let me make a reference to the holder. Local script. Keep doing that. Oh my god. Script. My bad. Local holder equals script parent dot holder. We'll do this. Oh, come on. Holder get children do if selected is a text button, then, and now we're going to, so what this is basically what we're doing so far is the first for loop, the main one is looping through the buttons in the equip menu. And this and what this is, and then when we get to this for loop here, based on when we press equip, it's going to loop through everything that's in the holder and basically check to see which ones was selected or not, like which one has the bool values set to true. And based on that, it will either equip or unequip the armor. So let me continue here. So basically I have is selected dot is selected That's kind of confusing. So let's call this armor. So if armor dot is selected dot value equals true, then we'll do armor dot equipped dot value will be equal to true. Armor that is selected dot value will then be set to false, not val. It should be value. Oh my god. Value be set to false. And then we'll do script.parent.visible equals false. So this is where we're at right now. I want to make sure, I'm going to test and make sure that where I'm at right now is actually functional. Okay, so let me open up my GUIs, my scripts, and GUI inventory holder. I don't know why, even though this is the first, it switches them out. Kind of bizarre to me. But anyways, I'm going to select it. Hold on, it says armor name is not a valid member of frame. Armor name. Armor name, equip menu. Okay, I see what I did wrong. So go back to the manager and make sure you put value. This is why it's always good to do tests as you're going through your scripts. That way you don't have to go back later. Okay, so actually I don't think I need this open. So if I press this, it says, do you want to equip epic armor? And then I press equip. So if I open this up, and as you can see, it says, do you want to unequip epic armor? And then it changed everything. So if I go into here, it should show, oh, it switched them again. It should show that this is selected and this is also equipped. But then I can go over here, and now this is selected, but it's not equipped. But right now we don't have it. Right now, if I were to press equip for the second one that I just clicked on, now they're both going to be equipped, which is not what we want. But that's what we're going to fix right now. So we go back into the manager under the equip menu. And so we'll do an else statement. And we'll set equip to false. We don't have to set is selected to false because that's already handled. It's already handled by the manager script in the holder. But this is going to turn all the other ones to false. You know what? To make it less confusing, let me do this. Not so epic armor. Not so epic armor. I think that would be way less confusing. So let me open my GUI just to make sure that my bool values are doing what they're supposed to. So the first thing I have is my epic armor. and I want to equip it. So I click on it. It is selected, but it's not equipped until I press equip. And now the bool value says that it is. Now I click on it again. It asks if I want to unequip. I don't have that set up yet, so I won't bother with that for now. But now I have my not so epic armor. That is selected, but it's not equipped. So I will go ahead and equip it. Now it says that the equip bool value is true for the not so epic armor, but it turned it off for the epic armor. And I can keep switching back and forth between the two now that we have that set up. Okay. All right. So now we're going to make the unequip, which is relatively going to be the same thing. So it would be else if child.text is equal to unequip, then, and let's just copy and paste these. And so we're just gonna copy and paste. I'm gonna set this to false. And we don't really need to do it for this one. We don't need that else statement here since we're just unequipping something. So now when I play it, equip it, click it again, I unequip it. No, it does not want me to do that. Hold on, let's see. Still says it's equipped, and it shouldn't. Turned off is selected. So armor.value or armor.equip.value should be set to false. Why is that not set to false? If I go here, I press unequip. Right? You know what? I think let me do it this way. So I'll explain what I'm doing in a second. Okay. Okay, so basically, I put everything under the mouse click function. That way I don't have two mouse click functions. I think that was the issue. I'm going to test it out real quick just to see. Press equip, press unequip. Yeah, okay, there we go. So that was the issue, is because it had two mouse button functions. So basically I have this as selected. I can equip it now. Now it's equipped. I click it again. I can unequip it, and now it goes away. I can do the same with this one. Equip it. Now it's equipped. Unequip. Now it's unequipped. Okay. So going back into the equip menu. We're now going to look into actually putting the armor on. So in order for this to work server side where everyone can see, we have to set up a remote event. Yeah, that's what it's called, a remote event. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to replicated storage, make a folder, call it events, get a remote event, and you can call it whatever you want, but I'm going to call it equip armor. Call that equip armor. And then we're going to script services and make a new script. Call it remotes. And we'll make reference, and then we'll make the function for our remote event. So game dot replicated storage dot events dot equip armor dot on server event connect function. Get the player. We're gonna have player, and we're going to have armor. So we're going to go back to our manager, and we'll set up the we're gonna fire the event from there. So it'll be game.replicated storage. Let's do this. Local remote equals game.replicated storage dot events. Let's do events. Local events. And then we'll do events dot equip armor fire server, and we're going to do the armor's name. It's going to be in reference to our for loop right here. And let's set a condition actually. So we're going to set the addition as equipped. And then we're going to set this condition as unequipped. We're going to go in here. We're going to put condition. All right. So now in our remotes function, we're going to do if condition equals equipped, then, and I'm actually going to draw from here. So let me see real quick. So what I'm gonna do is how am I gonna do this? I guess I'll do a for loop for index armor in pairs, and we'll let me make reference to the server storage. Actually, let me put a folder in here first. Sorry if I'm going out of our order. So it's going to be our armors. .armors. So now we're going to do in the for loop for index armor in pairs. Armors. I don't like how I did that. I don't like how I'm doing this. Do armor folder. Okay, so then for index chosen armor in pairs, armor folder, get children, do if chosen armor that name is equal to armor, because in the manager script we sent out the name. Then, and this armor is in reference to what's in our remote function, what was carried over. So that's what it's looking at. So if the name matches the name that we sent over, then that's when we come here and let's take this. Take all of this entire for loop that's right here. I'm gonna take that and we're gonna paste it into our remotes, and we're gonna doctor it up a bit. So it's going to be player, as in reference to this, and this is going to be, you know what? I'm sorry, we have to get the whole thing. We're bringing the whole thing over. This is going to be player, and we're going to change this to chosen armor. Actually make a clone of this first. I am doing things out of order. I'm sorry, I'm doing things out of order. So local chosen equals chosen armor clone, and then we do chosen parent equals player dot character, and then make sure that we're only referencing chosen here. Okay, so let me explain what I just did. I apologize for things being a little bit confusing. I was kind of going out of order and skipping some steps, but basically, so when we get here, if we don't already have our weapon equipped, we're going to press equip, which is going to shoot a fire event to our remote script. Now our remote script is going to pick up on that event and start working based on what conditions that were set. In this case, we're working with the condition that that we're equipping something. So the first thing it does is it looks into our armor folder, and it's looking for the armor, the name of the armor that we've equipped from our inventory. Once it's found it, then it creates it's going to basically create a whole new armor. It's going to clone it basically. So we have our local chosen equals chosen armor.clone, which will give us a duplicate. And then we set that duplicate as the child of our player character. Then in here, we do a for loop that shows that's for all of the different pieces within the armor, like so. And then we also we do a for loop for the player so that these same pieces, left hand, left lower arm, upper arm, match the same as the player's pieces. So in essence, it should work, and I should be able to equip the epic armor. I go here, and I equip, and there we go. It's kind of hard to see. Let me turn off the... Let me just turn this off real quick. I just equipped the epic armor through that. Now, of course, I can't do it here because I don't have the not so epic armor at all. But I was able to equip it. And if you look into the workspace, you look at your character, you'll see you'll have the whole model in there. Now, we're going to work on the unequip condition. So we'll do else if condition equal to unequip. Is that what I put? No, unequipped. And then we can look into the player. So we'll do for index let's see, equipped armor in pairs, player dot character get children, do if equipped armor is a model, then equipped armor will be destroyed. So I equip my armor, and then I can unequip my armor. Character is not a valid member of player. I spelled character wrong. Of course I did. Let me try that again. I go here, I equip the armor, do it again, I unequip. And there we go. Now we have an equip and an unequip for this armor. Okay, so that works. And then let's go back into the manager script for equip menu. And we're going to do else if child dot name is equal to cancel. Then we simply turn this off. So be script.parent.visible equals false. At the same time, we want to turn off I'm sorry, this one does require a, you know what? Okay, I'm going to edit this again real quick. Please bear with me. I apologize if it's confusing. I'll explain it later. Okay. There we go. Do that. Put that in here. I don't need that. Then I can fix this. Head up here. So if child.equip, and then we have our else statement here. Okay, so basically I had to move the function for clicking the button up here. That way it can encompass the child the child called equip and the child.cancel. That way I don't have two of these buttons here. Anyways, and we're just going to copy this right here, put it in there, and this time we're going to get rid of the is equipped part. And we're going to get rid of the event function. The only thing we want to do is set is selected to false. And that way, when we go to play, when we hit cancel, it should just close the our little equip menu. I have that equipped and click cancel and it turns it off. Do the same thing with not so epic armor. I click cancel and it deselects it. And I could keep doing that over and over again. Doesn't matter. Alright, so our cancel button is set up. We have our equip and our unequip. Let's see. Let's do this actually. Let's throw in, call it open close menu. And basically, we're just gonna have this one open and close like a normal inventory, like you press E or M to open up an inventory or not. So what I'm gonna do is local UIS equals gains, get service, user input service, and I do UIS input begin, connect function, and we'll do key processed, then earned. So now if key dot user input type equals enum dot user input type keyboard, then key dot keycode equals enum keycode dot, I'll use M. Then let me put in a bool value here. Oops. I call it opened. So if script.parent.opened value equals false, then script.parent.visible equals true. Else, if script.parent.open.value equals true, then script.parent.visible will now equal false. Probably should have set it to false before I started playing, but it should still work. No. Did I do something wrong? Let me see. If keycode. Why is it saying that this is wrong? Script.parent.open. Okay, let's try on. You know what? Why am I... Let me put it inside the script itself. See if that works. All right. Script that on. I forgot to put this in here. Okay, let's see if that works. Yep, there we go. So now I can equip my epic armor. And I have this on. Then I can also take it off. And I can put it back on. Alright, alright. Okay, let me see. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Actually, let's go back into the remotes because I forgot one more important thing. We're going to take this and we're gonna plop it on down in here, because the first thing that we want to do is remove the old armor and replace it with new armor. And I'm gonna go ahead and make my not so epic armor in the storage here. I'm just gonna duplicate this. Not so epic armor. And let's change it. Let's make this I don't know, concrete. And then we can make it brown. Let me do it from the brick color. Make it brown. And now I should be able to switch between the two. So I have my epic armor on, and I switch it over to my not so epic armor. And as you can see, it de-equipped itself, but I still have it as asking if I want to unequip it here. And I can do this. And I can also take it off, put it back on. You cancel, and there we go. So that's basically it. I'm sorry that this video took so long. It's just that there is a lot of detailing that goes into this. It wasn't easy for me to figure this out when I first went through it, and it took me probably much longer than this tutorial to figure this out. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, as it does help support the channel, and you know, because I do want to do more tutorials like this, and be sure to look out for more in the future. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!